welcome to the Kitchen Knitters podcast. My podcast where I show you what I've been knitting and what I've been sewing. My name is Suzanne and I live in Cheshire in the northwest of England with my husband. We have 3 children, 3 grown-up children and 3 grandchildren. It is the 14th of December, I think. Anyway, I have lots on my needles and I have a couple of sewing things to show you. Just a couple of garments, and I can show you also what I've been buying. I do have one knitted finished object, but I can't show it to you because I've already sent it to my little grandson. I knitted him a Christmas pudding hat, and I can show you a picture of the pattern. There. And I knitted that for him. And I've sent it. Now if I knew how to, I would put up a picture here, because I did take a photograph of it modelled over an upturned Pyrex dish and Pyrex bowl. So if I find out how to do it, I'll do it. Or I'll ask my son-in-law. My son-in-law has been brilliant. He's helped me a lot with this podcast. He's done the intro. He did the music bit, and he asked me to just to send him a little video of me knitting at the kitchen table, and he turned it into that little intro, which is lovely. Very clever. Anyway, I'll see what I can do. So the first thing, to be honest, I think I'm showing you projects that I've already shown you and made little progress on. Let's see what's in this bag. The Flower Stitches bag. Oh, it's my the mittens I was knitting, the dealers mittens. I have made some progress on it. I've started to do the shaping for the thumb there. I'm showing you the right thing there, in between those 2 markers there, and I'm knitting it that way down. Well, on that hand, left hand. I'm doing the left hand first, sort of knitting it down. I tried to try it on last time in the podcast, and all the stitches came off the needle, so I won't do that again. But there, and it's gorgeous. This wool, it really is lovely. It's the most gorgeous pink. It's Hayton 4-ply and driftwood. The colourway was driftwood. So I'm making slow progress on it, but I've got to concentrate. But the pattern is brilliant. It's me that, with my concentration, my consecration. So that's the pattern. And it's a pattern by, I don't think I said this last time, by Liz Cork, Dealers. So you even get a little tutorial on the back of the pattern how to do the cast on. I think it's still haven't found out what I'm supposed to crochet on the pattern, but it's the Estonian cast on. I just did my normal cast on. It looked far too complicated. So for my little brain, I am rather like Winnie the Pooh. I'm a bear of very little brain. So I thought, no, I'll just do my normal cast on. So that's that one. Another work in progress, but with a little bit more progress than last time I showed you, is the Truscow Jumper. And I think everybody knows that jumper. You top down and you do the decreases for the raglan and it's a lovely pattern. And again, I'm knitting it in Eden Cottage yarns. It's Hayton. This is Hayton DK, and the colourway is Hyssop. And you knit it top down. I can't decide which is the back of the front at the moment. There we go. And I'm really pleased with this. I don't know why I was ever so scared of doing top down jumpers, because it's great. I'm roughly to the bit where I'll put the sleeves on, stitches for the sleeves on spare yarn, and then it's just straight down. Marvellous. There should be no reason why I shouldn't be finishing that very soon. This one, I've talked about this one before in my Caroline Loves to Sew bag, and it was wool from Sherry Iris. It was a sock club, and I think I said I've lost the ball band, but I was knitting and I got all excited about this pattern because it was for 9-inch circulars, written for using 9-inch circulars. But I chose that colourway, and for me it just wasn't working. I couldn't see the pattern, and I kept thinking I'd made a mistake. I don't think I had, but it just I think this is gorgeous wool. Actually, I've shown it before. It's Sherry Iris's Life of Birds sock club, and I think it was the August one, and it was the oyster. I think it's the oyster catcher. But I think I'm going to knit just a plain pair of socks. I'll carry on with that because there's 60 stitches on there, and I think I'll just make them plain. And I don't know what you'd call that wool. Is it tonal or block colour? I don't know. But make it all one colour. I think you'd see the pattern a lot better if. And I even bought extra pairs of Chigo needles because I thought I could knit them not 2 at a time. No. But I could knit them in tandem. I could start, do a cuff and then do another. But of course, I've caked it up like that now, so I can't do that. But in the future, I think I will do that with my socks. So that's that one. Now then, I'll show you something new. That's what you do when you've got lots of unfinished projects. You start a new one. This is, look at this bag. I haven't shown you this bag. This is the bag that comes with the Advent from Elderflower Stitches, Susie Elderflower Stitches, and that is just so pretty. Gorgeous. I'd like a dress in that actually. Yeah. Gorgeous. And you also get a little matching notions pouch as well in there. And there's pockets. I'll show you the muddle that's in there. You get obviously little pockets, and then what you call the band at the top with the outside pattern, all finished off beautifully. Lovely. Now I'm knitting. I've started balling up. I've caked up the first 7 days of the Advent calendar. I think I said in my last podcast that they weren't numbered. Of course they were numbered. It was me looking at the wrong. There was a packet, and it was the thing was so faint. They come with they were a little, but it's in this sort of colourway. There you can just see it there, just that gorgeous pale peachy pink. And for my tired old eyes, I couldn't. I just didn't see it. Didn't look closely enough. That's all. Just too excited about the whole thing. So I you can't. And there's sort of. I don't think you can't see. I don't know why I'm showing you. You can't see all the colours, but it's it starts off. This one I've started. And Susie issued a pattern, free pattern, alongside the Advent, and it's called the My Kind of Christmas Shawl, and it's sections of lace patterns. The first one, this one, is horseshoe lace. You don't get a picture, so it's kind of revealed to you as you're knitting, but they're all well-known knitting stitches. What do I mean? The pattern. This is horseshoe lace, and I've done the first 8 rows, and I do another 8 rows, and then I bring in another colour. This one we're starting with. Oh gosh, I've lost it now. Where's it gone? Yeah. It is Point Shoes Ombre, which is the first one. Yes, Point Shoes Ombre, and sort of where all the colours kind of fade in. You can't see it properly here. It's just too pale in this light. Is that a bit better? Not really. So that's as far as I've got, and I intend to kind of keep on top of it. And I think it'll look really pretty. So this is for the 24 minis, and the pattern, my kind of Christmas shawl, is in sort of sections, and then it's a free pattern, so I can show you. And then you go from section to section 7 is going back to lace pattern A, which is the horseshoe lace, and so on, back and forth. It's not all regimental. It's back and forth. I think it'll look absolutely lovely when it's finished. Gorgeous, gorgeous colours. All the lovely colours. Gorgeous. So that's my advent. I've started my advent. I haven't opened them all up, and I've got another 7. Where are we on the 14th? I've got another 7 to cake up, but I think that's plenty to be going on with. Another thing. Oh, I can show you. No, yeah, I'll show you. This is one of a new bag. Like I need another project bag, but I saw this came up on Instagram, and it was the daughter of a yarn dyer, Megan Lay, and she made some bags, and you know, it is absolutely gorgeous. That's my kind of fabric, but it's beautifully made. I'll show you inside. I've got a project, an intended project. You see, and it's really, really spacious. You get loads in, and pockets that have been made in the outside material. Gorgeous, and it's got a nice thick padding in, so it stands up. Oh, it's scrunchy. It's gorgeous. Look at those seams. Look at that. Perfect. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. And I got a little mini, because the yarn dyer is the Lay Family Kelly from Lay Family Yarns, and I got a little beautiful little pink mini in there. Gorgeous. The bag is and very reasonably priced. Wow. Gorgeous. Oh, and what I had in it is, I want to knit this Dance Like No One Is Watching by Lindsay Tranter, who is Stitch Create Love. She has a lovely podcast too. She's doing Vlogmas. So many Vlogmases. I'm not caught up yet. So I'm going to knit this in. Now I'm not even sure I can, but I haven't got any mohair to hold it with, because that's what you do. But I think if I knit this in this cashmere DK from the Wool Barn called Vintage Peach, I think I'll be all right. But it is, now it's coming out paler. That's probably a bit more of a, oh, it's gorgeous colour. I think, yeah, you see something like this, those socks that I just showed before. I think if I did something in this, I would be able to see the stitch definition and know. I think, you know, if the pattern, it's been designed for that really, I think. I shouldn't muck about. They're the experts. Anyway, I'm going to knit this shawl. No, it's not a shawl, it's a cowl. But I think I can just knit it in DK. Yes, I can. And it only takes 87 grams. Ooh. Yeah, a single strand of DK weight yarn on 4.5 needles. Oh, I should whiz through that. Back in my lovely bag. Looks like it's going to rain. Our kitchen window's that way, and I think it's going to rain again. For a nanosecond I thought I'd put my washing out, but I'm glad I didn't. Right, next one. I've shown this one. Yes. Now I've made a bit of progress on this. I have been knitting the Lola Socks. Be careful because this is a paid for pattern. And in black and white. But I think everybody knows about the Lola Socks. So pretty. And do you know, I'm loving this pattern. Absolutely loving it. And I'm knitting it in Sherry Iris, and it's called On the Dance Floor, which I thought was very appropriate because I was too late to the party to get the Lay family yarn that had been specially dyed. I talked about this on my last podcast. Look at that. Really pleased with that. It's so pretty, it's so gorgeous. Look at that. That's showing up quite well actually. That's not bad. Little pretty little progress keeper. So there's that. That's that one. Lovely little ball band. Gorgeous. So my grandson's train jumper. I did say something about wanting this ready for Christmas, didn't I? Well, let's see if I can get it all out in one piece. I have made some progress on it. We can actually see the forming of a train there. That looks a little bit train-like to me. There we go. Starting to sort of shape in the little funnels. I'll show you the pattern of what it's meant to look like. And there we are. So I'm about there, where the sort of the dividing for the chimneys. I don't know. What do you call them trains? I can't remember now. Funnel? No, that's a ship. Can't remember. See, very little brain. Right. So that's that muddle in there. Flower bag, elderflower stitches. Now sewing. I think that's all my knitting. Sewing. It's enough knitting. Goodness me. Right. Let's get up to get this. I've got one finished garment and I've got two unfinished because I'm waiting for. I thought I'd still show you because I talked about them on my. No, I didn't talk about these two on the last one, but I talked about this on my last podcast, and it is the night dress. This pattern here, and I'm doing this one. And I said in my last podcast it was a complete steal. I copied shamelessly Isabel from Fluffy Fibres. She made this night dress in the same material, same pattern. But I've put the ruffle on, and the idea is you put the ruffle on and then you put like a pretty broderie anglais sort of binding around there to make it. But I wonder if this is. When I put it on, I thought, oh, it's going to look a bit too fussy. But spot the deliberate mistake. I have put the ruffle on upside down. All the sheep are upside down. They wouldn't be if I was looking down on it, but they're upside down. So I'll have to take that off. But I wonder actually if just putting I've ordered some double-sided ruffle, you know, and you can thread a ribbon through it. I've ordered some of that. It hasn't arrived yet. The bias or the white bias binding I ordered had, but I got that from a different company because I need to bind off the armholes, and I will need to now bind around here now because I'm going to take this mistake off. But I'm not sure I would have liked that ruffle. It stands up a bit. So, but I'm very pleased with it. It's a lovely material to work with. Gorgeous. That was from Katie Green, the Green Bean podcast. That's her cotton lawn. Gorgeous. So once the ruffle arrives, I'll take that ruffle off. I just hope I haven't stretched the material, and finish it. And yeah. And the other thing I'm in the middle of making, because I've had to come to, because I haven't got, again, I've had loads of bias binding, but evidently not. So I am knitting, I am sewing this, you can't see very well. This is the, oh, I never get the right, it's the Ellis or the Hattie dress from, it's the Hattie. I'm doing, that's the pattern, and I'm doing that one. But I ran out of, I copied Vicky from West Green Loft Yarns and put some Liberty in the facing. Very nice, I thought, yes. And then I thought I had just plain dark green bias binding. And so I put this on thinking I'll, be a bit quirky, because it's both Liberty, that's a Liberty fabric, and this is Liberty, but I'm not so sure. The thing is though, I just know it's not right. I probably would not wear this dress without a cardigan. I don't like my arms. And the only reason I didn't put sleeves in was because I didn't buy enough material. I always think I can get away with fudge it, but this takes a lot of material out. But I chop a lot off the bottom because I'm not very tall. So this is from the material is linen from Merchant and Mills. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's very drapey, but there's also a bit of weight to it too. And it was one of their dead stock. They put up on Instagram that they'd got some dead stock, and I think this was called Wild Moss. But it's slubby. It's coming out a lot paler. It's a moss green. I don't know. Let's see. I don't think the light. That's a better indication of what it is. It's a dark green. I know this is quite bright for me. This is a trapeze dress from Merchant and Mills in like a needle cord. Now this is quite bright for me. And I usually have various colours of drab in my wardrobe, but every now and again I step out of my comfort zone and then step back in it again. But this is for me is perfect. I like the sort of Annie from the workhouse look. So I'd wear this with sort of thick tights and my brogues and a cardigan, like a vintage cardigan, or a knitted cardigan if I make one. But I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that binding. I think I'll wait for the dark green binding to come. Just be patient. Yeah, I'll do that. So that is a sewing in progress, a project in progress. But this one is finished, and this is a trapeze dress. And oops, I made this again in. I love the trapeze dress. It hides a multitude of sins. And this is from Merchant and Mills. Again, I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone with this. It's coming up a bit lighter. The fabric is called Boston Fall, so it's very autumny. It's very it's gold, like a gold. Yeah, just a gold. It's hard to describe. It's not mustard. It's coming up looking mustard in the camera, but it's not. It's a darker. But I haven't got anything to go with it. And I was listening to some podcasts where they've said that they're going to try and I think it was Gaynor from Tales of Cookwoodland. She was saying she was just going to think about what she was going to make and how it would work with her the wardrobe, rather than just like making something because you like the look of the pattern, which is what I do. So I end up with lots of random things. So I'm trying to be a little bit more mindful, be the word, I don't know, but because I haven't got anything to go with that, and I would need to put a cardigan on or something with it. I've got green. Green I think would go with it, like a bottle green. Maybe oh no, I don't think so. I could wear a jumper over it. It's too roomy. But I really like that, and of course the material from Merchant and Mills is just gorgeous. It's beautiful. Again, it's a lovely drapey, weighty linen. Love linen. So that's the sewing. yeah, that's the sewing, and so it's what I've been buying. Actually, I've not got that much to show you. I've showed the project bag, that's new, and then I bought some. I bought some wool from Les Familles Yarn. I've never used Les Familles Yarn wool before, but other podcasts have raved about how gorgeous it is, and so I bought 2 skeins of Ophelia, and I thought I'd make a shawl, and it's this gorgeous. What do you call it? It's like a creamy ivory. I'm rubbish at describing colours, and then there's little speckles of raspberry and pink. So you see a bit better there, I think. But it's a sort of kind of a pale grey even, maybe. Absolutely gorgeous. I thought perhaps I should have got another skein and maybe knit a garment out of it. Not quite sure what though, because then I think anyway. I will find a shawl to knit that. That's lovely. And at the same time, I purchased these, which are the Rainbow Chronicles colourway for January. Now I need to go back to Jules's video to find out, because there are some rules, and this is the Rainbow Chronicles, where you knit a rainbow of socks, 1 pair every month for a year, starting in January, obviously. And I think that you pre-order. Now I was again late to the party, as I always am, and the skein, the 100-gram skein, had gone. So all that was left was the minis. But well, I've never knitted socks with minis, so there's always a first time. So, oh, gorgeous, isn't it? I think that's that one there, isn't it? Lovely. And so, and I think I should be ordering the February colourway. I should be. Can't justify anymore. And so that was my purchase from Les Familles Yarn. But I don't know if I'll. I think you've got to join a Ravelry thread or something. I can't remember now, but I'm not sure I'll do that because I don't know how. But anyway, I'll just keep up with everything. Even the label's pretty. Look at that, gorgeous. And I bought a skein from Sherry Iris, and this is called Fine Old Christmas, and it's their sturdy sock, just because I liked it. I don't do an awful lot with greens in there. This colourway I think would make a lovely pair of socks, so I bought that. I've actually got some yarn coming from Nora George. Is it the Blanket Club? But that hasn't arrived yet. And then Sherry Iris had an update on Friday, and I bought two skeins of a colourway called Earth Stood Hard as Iron. Oh, it's gorgeous, creams and greys, absolutely gorgeous looked. And another one which I can't remember what it is now. But it hasn't arrived, obviously, it was only on Friday. So, well, that's about it really. So, what I wanted to say though, and I probably should have said this at the start of the podcast, was thank you and welcome to all my new subscribers. I was so overwhelmed. I got a lovely comment from Gaynor, Tales of Cuckoo Land, who was so disappointed that there was only the one podcast. She was looking for more. I thought, oh. And then I watched Sherry Iris' podcast. A podcast, not a vlogmas. It was a podcast, and a couple of weeks ago. And I went off to bed. My husband was watching football or something, so I thought I'd go and watch Sherry Iris. Lovely. So I was watching it, and she kept stopping, and she was and another thing, and another thing, and then she mentioned some of the podcasts and vlogmases that she was intending to catch up on, and then she said, "There's a new one, Suzanne," and I sat, and then it came up on the screen, the Kitchen Knitters podcast. Well, I leapt out of bed. I ran downstairs to show my husband, and I think it was football, so you know, yeah, look at this, look. Oh, I was just, I skipped back upstairs. I just thought it was such a lovely thing to do. And as a result of that, I think I went from 13 subscribers. I now have, well, I looked this morning and I have 147, and that's just absolutely marvellous. So thank you, Sherry, and thank you, everyone who subscribed. I shall try and do better. I shall try and have some finished objects next time. I'm not sure when next time will be. But yeah, I was, and I got such lovely comments too from people like Sherry, from Ollie and Bella, and Angela from Knitting on the Farm, and it was just, I was lost for words. It's unusual for me, but I was lost for words. So it was great, absolutely great, and thank you so much. Thank you. Well, I think that's it now. Yep, 31 minutes. I think that's long enough. But yes, I will have some finished objects next time. I don't know whether I'll perhaps try and get back on before Christmas, but we'll see. Even if it's just to wish you a Merry Christmas nearer the time. I don't feel Christmassy yet, so yeah. Thank you. Take care.